The War of the Worlds by the British writer H.G. Wells was the first book that I ever borrowed from the adult section of Dolphin's Barn Library in Dublin. Not this exact copy, obviously, because otherwise I'd owe a small fortune in fines, but a small light blue covered hardback that I can still picture to this day. I was allowed an adult library ticket in 1978 while still in primary school, largely because I'd exhausted the supply of books I wanted to read in the children's section. I can still remember my mother taking me to the desk to exchange my 2 green children's tickets for 3 dark blue adult ones, and I had to promise not to try to borrow anything that might be inappropriate, which I soon understood to mean containing grubby bits. To be fair, it wasn't a difficult promise to make, since I would have had to look long and hard to find many books that were very grubby in a Dublin library of the 1970s. Mind you, as a teenager I did manage it, but I really had to put the hours in. But at the age of 10, I just wanted to read H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, because I'd recently bought Jeff Wayne's musical adaptation on cassette tape and now wanted to try the original for myself. Similarly, that's how Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte came to be on my radar long before I read the book itself, because Kate Bush's song of the same name was the first single I ever bought with my own money, also in 1978, which turned out to be a pivotal year for me, culturally speaking. So I heard the song long before I had read the novel, which meant I had something in common with Kate Bush herself, who wrote Wuthering Heights long before she'd read the book, having some vague idea that it was about moors and ghosts and people called Cathy. But we come to books in all kinds of interesting ways, and the books we're meant to read seem to find a way of ending up in our hands eventually. So I read The War of the Worlds, and then borrowed from the library 2 more of Wells' science fiction novels, The Time Machine and The Island of Dr. Moreau. I've reread each of them since then, and they remain entertaining and intelligent pieces of speculative fiction that can be enjoyed by readers of any age. But my affection for The War of the Worlds and its author is bound up with my memories of being allowed into the world of books for grown-ups for the very first time, and therefore my first steps towards the world of adulthood. I only wish I knew the name of the librarian who looked at a voracious 10-year-old reader and thought, what harm can it do to let him run free in my library, to lose and to find himself in books? Whoever they were a very wise librarian indeed.